Hello guys, Mr. Shockwave came back here once again. Shut out the video. What is the future, or what's going to go on with the future with Antonio Guevara, the myth, the legend, the champion who took out Malcolm and Ippo, the man who won that that rank 8th place from Ippo and robbed it from him right there from everybody, crushing everybody return stream, crushing the new Dempsey because Ippo tried to use it too much and he couldn't properly aim it. What is the future of this man? Now, the reason why I bring that up is that overall just recently, we want to go back like a few hundred chapters ago, Ricardo Martinez already brought up who's going to be his next opponent, who he's going to fight after the whole Senna versus Antonio Gonzalez fight. I was always like, alright, Antonio has been hyped up. He want that 8th plank race. He want that top 10 place that Ippo had. He wanted to take out Ippo to get that place. So he obviously got the top. I'm choking up on words. That's not good. I have to go to the doctor. He obviously wanted to challenge a world champion, and he obviously wanted to get his family out of poverty. And what better way to do that is to become a world champion? But as far as you know, Antonio has done nothing. Now somebody's saying, "Oh, yeah, he won't never come back. He won't never return from that same base that Malcolm would have been used as a stepping stone to get knocked out, kiddo." But so just I'm just saying. And then we've got other characters like the 1200 chapter woman, where she just shows up out of nowhere. And we still don't even know what her relevance was at all, besides from that one reunion chapter video I made. So it's not impossible to believe that Antonio will return eventually. The only question is, what will he do? Who will he fight? Because I was really hoping that he does fight against Ricardo Martinez, because it would give him an opponent that we've already seen to fight. And if he get ripped at the shreds, he get ripped at the shreds. If he doesn't, he doesn't. So I always seen it as a great fight, an excellent thing to put on a pay-per-view, but the fight so far has never come to anything. It's not like he wanted to challenge Ricardo Martinez, but might as well. We got nothing else to do. And Ippo was, if he would have beat Antonio, now if he would have beat Alfredo Gonzalez, would have gotten his shot at Ricardo Martinez. So either way, it would have made sense from both angles that Ippo would have got that fight, but none of that. Antonio would have fought Ricardo Martinez next, but we all know what happened. Billy McKellen took that challenge, got his entire career ended, and that was the last time we ever heard of Billy. So it brings us to Antonio. Now, I don't think the next time we're going to see Antonio that Antonio's going to bring up some brand new footwork, or he's going to blow everybody away, look how far he's improved. It's not like a Wally, because I believe that's going to happen with Wally. Wally's going to be a beast in the future of Hajime Ippo. I don't care what anybody says. He could do all that with no experience. And experience Wally with proper technique, with further developed technique from Miguel, he'll be unstoppable. Well, nearly. Which is why that whole dream fight between him and the Gake is excellent. Unless he's going to fight Ippo again. But that whole dream fight between him and Tagaki would be excellent. Excellent. It depends how fight Tagaki develops, so it depends. A lot of factors going to go into this. But for Antonio, the way I picture it now with Antonio, a good old Mr. Southpaw, if he's not going to fight Ricardo Martinez anytime soon at all, it's just Ricardo Martinez and Senna fight could be right around the corner. Could be. A perfect fight for Antonio could easily be against Miyata. And the reason I say is, oh, but he's moved up in weight. Have he? There's been no official announcement. We haven't heard anything from his father. Like, Miyata never mentioned anything about it. Yoki, nobody mentioned anything about Miyata actually moving up in weight. And I do mean, and I must stress, that nobody, and I mean nobody have said that Miyata has moved up in weight. Because if anybody would know if Miyata moved up in weight, Ippo would know. And if Ippo doesn't know, then it has not happened yet, so. And that's when I state, even if he does move up in weight, the whole dream fight of them, of Ippo and Miyata even fighting, would it go away anyway? Because, you know, they can just meet at a catch weight and fight then. So it wouldn't really diminish anything. So we get to see Ippo put on some extra pounds of muscle and look at that back. But I think a fight between Miyata and Antonio would be perfect. Number one, Miyata can get his closure on the whole Ippo situation finally, and finally continue on his career. Because somebody say, oh, he got his closure doing the whole reset thing with Takamura. Nope. He still hung up on it, which is why he felt that empty feeling as he was walking away from Aoki and Tagaki and Kimura. There's still something there. He haven't let go yet. So the whole claims of I was gonna move on, Ippo. It has not died out yet. Even now, it's been recently said by Fuji and Mar if Miyata was also gonna move in weight, that would have reported about it. But no, there was no reports of Miyata moving up in weight by anybody. And that was like, even then he was staying behind because he had some type of dream, or he had a belief that he would fight Ippo. So why is he still hanging around his weight class then? Why don't he just move up? Which is adds more evidence that he hasn't moved up in weight at all. But I think that'd be a great fight. Antonio want to take on the world. Miyata got nothing else to do, so you might want to have Antonio Guevara and Miyata just fight each other. Might as well. That would be the perfect dream fight, the perfect dream scenario, pretty much, in my opinion. Because I'll pay money to see that fight. And I include the fact if Antonio has grown since that point. A lot of time has passed. He is a southpaw. He does use footwork, and Miyata is a countering machine. So Miyata blows Antonio out of the water, like with that one guy that dropped Ippo in sparring, and Miyata just said, "Oh, all I say is he's pretty good," and then he gets obliterated with the world champion. Just shows that there's something wrong with Ippo. If Miyata does that, then there is no dreams of Ippo ever returning. Even my hopes of Ippo returning is waning because we have pretty much gotten nothing about it. It has become concerning at this point, the way George is taking things, but who knows? Who knows how things might turn out. But yeah, when it refers to Antonio, I don't see Antonio as being one of those characters that will change the world. Just change the world, or have like a major influence to the future of Hajime Ippo at all. I just don't. But I do believe that he will return like every other Ippo return. Every other Ippo opponent have returned in one form or fashion or another. Eventually, because I feel like Waller's gonna return, because it left on an open cliffhanger, and especially how Miguel Zell hinted at, Ippo, the way he's been just grinding himself to the ground, just grounding himself to the bone, just taking on tough opponent after tough opponent. Eventually, you're gonna crash and burn, and that's what happened. They crashed and burned together. Ippo and the coach, boxer and trainer, sitting in the gym, crashing and burning right there in the mat. Just catching flame, and you see both of them roasting and cooking alive. But yeah, for Antonio, that would be an interesting fight. I'm pretty sure there's no reason Antonio wouldn't take that fight between him and Miyata. And I would see how if Miyata ever develops something, or maybe he might pull out that one technique that finally countered the Dempsey roll, or something like that. Or he might pull out something new. Who knows? Because I really can't sit here and say, Miyata's just going to outright obliterate him. He's just going to massacre him. Because second, that is what should have happened. With Ippo, Ippo should have easily cleared Antonio out. And he could have even won by points or by KO if he would have stopped going for that Dempsey roll, like I've said 1,000 times. But of course, Ippo's Ippo. And he thought he was going to retire. So I might well use this as the last chance I get to try to prove myself to the coach that his treatment actually does work. I made an entire 40-minute video breaking down why Ippo chose to lose and why he was an idiot during that fight. But hey, my whole thing is, if Antonio has grown since then, and since Miyata don't have anything else to do, you might well have Miyata fight Antonio. Two characters you don't have nothing to do. Because Ricardo Martinez is already shut down for a world challenge match. World title match. And unless you're going to fight those two other guys who was trying to unify the belts in featherweight. Unless you're trying to fight those two guys. He can't really do anything with Ricardo. And Miyata is not scheduled for a bout or a fight. And I'm pretty sure he will take some of his frustration out of Antonio and see maybe Antonio was better than we thought he was. And then when he found out, just like that sparring, that Antonio was not as good as he looks, I think then he'll finally let go. And the reason is, like I said before, Miyata don't believe that Ippo has a reason yet to actually retire. He just thinks that Ippo just retiring, and that's pretty much it. There's still hopes, there's still dreams. Even after the fight was canceled, they still could have set up the fight after the whole Randy Boy Jr. fight. They truly wanted the fight. And if the coach wasn't getting so emotional about it, they just could have delayed it one more fight. He would have left it at that, but oh no, we couldn't allow that. Oh no. Our pride is too big for our britches. But I know. But yeah, as I said before, Miyata hasn't been given his proper closure. When Miata realized that Antonio was weak, when he finally pieced together that maybe Ippo might be punch drunk after all, even though he's not, then he'll let go and move on. He really would. Because Miata is looking for closure. He really is. He really is looking for some type of form of closure. Because everybody else get to taste Ippo Pro Fist, but I could not. Desperately searching for it in a final destination. So I'm trying to talk like they're actually Joe characters at this point. Actually, you can kind of say they are, but not really. Not really. I think they're on the rooftop. But yeah, first to the future of Antonio. A lot of things can happen with the character, and I do mean like a lot of things can actually happen with him. Like he can easily use. He can get knocked out. He could be an opponent for Itagaki and show how weak Antonio actually is, or you can show that Antonio is an actual threat, scanning heads left and right, shaping the ball head. Or it can go any type of way, but I don't believe Antonio's significance in the story is done. Because there's no way you create like a brand new character who's a southpaw and all this stuff, you just let him go. And you give him, oh, you want these dreams, you want to get his family out of poverty, and he wants that 8-point rank from Ippo. Because Ippo will still work a day job. Let's be honest, like, unless you're like a pay-per-view star in boxing, you don't start making the real big bucks until you're a world champion. So he's gonna have to go after a belt anyway, and going after the Pacific title will be perfect for him. Because the reason that Ippo never go for it because Miata and they was planning the fight and delayed it. Oh, we're never gonna fight again. Da 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 da. But Antonio won't have that barrier. He have good reason. He needs that money. He wants that belt. He wants that place. And I'm pretty sure Miata easily is in the top 10 of the featherweights in every single belt division since he's been defending endlessly against quality opponents. Well, some of them more than others. Of course, some. And it's not like a jab at Randy Boy Jr. I was referring to like some of those no-name guys that Miata was just quickly hit with a counter. He just fall apart and just get put to sleep, going gently into that good night. He tried to resist, but the night clear was too strong for this one. It was too strong. But overall, when it first features the character, yeah, I believe that he should fight Miata pretty much. I can't sit here and say, alright guys, we got this, and that can happen to him. Not really. I'm not going to sit here and act like, unless he's going to be like a rematch with Ippo, which I don't see that happening at all. It makes more sense that Ippo on my Q scale would be his first match back. And oh, that'll be wrong. If you pull off a Dante comes back and take out Amai before Itagaki can, that's really going to piss off Itagaki. That really is. That would be sad, to be honest. Because I would have said, what was going to be the trigger? What is going to be the nuke? What is going to be the singular thing that sets Itagaki out to leave? And if Ippo does steal Itagaki's glory, then Itagaki is already jealous. Now Nanako has good reason. Itagaki, he's just jealous by himself, and it's just. And he went on one of the worst dates in the series with Mari. It wasn't even a date. She was there for an interview, and he thought he was going somewhere. It was tragic. It was tragic. One of the saddest moments in Ippo history right there. That was just tragic. There was no point of that supposed date. The disinterest in Mari was so strong that I was starting to feel sad. I started to tear up. That Itagaki wasn't seeing it. And at that point, you might wrap it up. I don't think like Itagaki or even like Amai at this point is even ranked high enough to even say, oh, you know, it'll be worth the challenge for Antonio. So you might want to throw Antonio near Miata. If he gets ripped the strategy, it show how weak Ippo was, and if he put up a decent fight because he's grown strong, it show how strong he was. And it explains how he was able to survive 4 rounds with the wind god himself. So a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can come to be because of it. But I just wish for the best for Antonio. Really, that really would be a dream fight, Antonio versus Miata. How strong is Antonio truly is. Have Antonio develop some further techniques beyond what he was doing before, or is he just as vulnerable? Does he have what it takes to take on the Pacific King champion? Does he have what it takes? It is an instant question. Does he? Because I rank Miata very highly. And I gotta reread up on the series. It has been a few years. I'm a little rusty, but you know, read a few chapters. I'll be back on it. Happy as a clam. So that's pretty much been a video on like what can go on with like Antonio. Oh yeah, what's the title of the video? I gotta look up that title of the video. Hold on. Cause I named the video title something and I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, it was the future of Antonio Guevara. So yeah, that's what I really want. That's the only really strong path where he can actually go where it makes sense that he would fight like a Miata, or like, even like a Kusuke, or be like a tuna fight for Sendo or something. But aside from that, just Antonio don't really got any other things. And if it was just that he was just doing it for the money and that was it, then would have just solved this problem. Like he was Malcolm, and he was just doing it to support his family instead of his own greed for him and his team. But since him and his coach was so adamant about getting that 8th ranked position that Ippo had in the world title stage, and to me it would only make sense that he would go after a world championship, which they're too busy. Whether they're unified already in the featherweight division, or they're just, because he's not getting a WBC belt if they're unifying and making a super champion. So, or he's gonna fight Ricardo Martinez, who already have a fight scheduled and contractually planned with well, not contractually, verbally planned with Ricardo Martinez, which is going to happen. So, and Sendo's hand is fully healed, so I don't see how he's gonna fight Ricardo. So it's just, when at first to the future of Antonio, that's the only way you can actually go. He has to fight Miata. And some might say, oh, why can't he be like the rest of those goons? Because every significant loss to Ippo has been by an actual good character with some further development. As a Dante get KO'd by Ricardo Martinez. Ricardo Martinez, former live punching bag Alfredo Gonzalez, knocks out Ippo, goes against Sendo, and put on a masterclass classic. I'll pay good money for that. And we got Antonio, where it's just like he really wanted that 8th place that Ippo had after fighting Alfredo Gonzalez, and he's just, you just don't bring it up as a story point that's just not going to go anywhere. So it makes perfect sense to throw him in with Miata and make Miata feel something, because we still don't know what Ippo found in Mexico, though. That's the only thing I think about. We still don't know what Ippo found in Mexico. He said he found something, but he never revealed to us what that whole found thing was. He just said he found something special in Mexico, and we never did get revealed what that was at all. At all. But who knows? Who knows? To me, with the facts and the evidence, it would make sense for Antonio to do this, because he's not getting a world championship fight by anybody. He's doing it for the money, but to support his family, trying to get them big bucks. And so far we haven't seen like any type of fight be put on pay-per-view and been live streamed on TV. Because that's another thing with the whole Ippo thing. I would say this: there's only like one problem. That is, we only see it from a boxer fighter perspective, and as in, or you might get somebody in a commercial, or might see an interview every once in a while, or like the press conference. We don't really see like news reporters and the broadcasters and the updates on the top 10 fighters and things like that, and the like the multiple belt rankings, unless it's like Vork or World Championship match. We don't really get all that extra outside of stuff, which is not necessary. It will take up page time and everything like that, but it is a part of the whole boxing wheel with the whole show. It just took place in the 90s. You can't really do the whole social media. I think the best we can do that with was Kojima. Unless you're going to take the psychoticism to another level and just turn it into like a Kojima similar more Ruhei, which that'd be terrifying. That'd be terrifying. And he got a boxing skill to back it up, and he's trash talking you. That's ridiculous. At least Mishiba, you say you're murdered, that was it. At least Samurai Ruhei, alright, I'm gonna get you out of there. You're nothing but food to me half the time, and I really want to win. So I'm gonna clean you up real quick. But to combine those two, and with some Kojima trash talking, that's a disgusting monster right there. That'll be one nasty opponent. One nasty opponent. But hey, who knows? When it first to the future of Antonio, that's pretty much it. There's not much else to really discuss. It's just he fights Miata, or he just wait for Sendo after he gets done cleaning up Ricardo Martinez. I'm sorry, Martinez is getting laid out across the pavement. He's getting whooped like a pinata. I don't care what anybody says. Martinez is eating the dirt. Alright, I don't believe Martinez can take Sendo's punches. I don't believe that he'll last. I don't believe he'll last 15 rounds in there with Sendo. 15 rounds in there with Sendo, so. Who knows? Who knows how things might turn out? Who knows indeed? It could be a case where I'm wrong. I've been Chakra King. I don't know you guys' thoughts and opinions about the whole situation. And if you've been Chakra King, like, comment, subscribe. What do you believe the future of Antonio will be? I personally believe it'll make sense to him fight Miata, but who knows? I could be wrong. If you've been Chakra King, like, comment, subscribe. And peace. What do you believe the future of Antonio should be?